Welcome everyone to Movement Yoga Flow. My name is Mark Cormier. I'll be practicing with Kathy Cormier today, and we'll get going in a few seconds as soon as Kathy joins us. Hi Kathy, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Would you like to come on to camera?
I would.
Excellent, excellent.
I've just been working from home
You've been working from home, as so many of us are these days.
before going to work outside the home. I get to do both.
The better you are at your job, the more
Hybrid life.
the more work you have to do.
As that's the modern world of the information vortex.
All right, well, why don't you come on camera,
Yeah.
and we'll get the practice going.
Oh, great.
So, anything you'd like to work on today, Kathy?
Staying calm and centered.
Calm and centered. Well, a good yoga practice.
And
in the
listening
morning,
and when people throw you a curveball, trying to figure out how to not have it hit you in the nose and mouth and break your teeth.
Okay. Great thing about yoga, it may not heal exactly what you're looking for. Having said that, the side effects are generally good. So anyway, let's find our feet. So hands on hips and just rocking it from side to side.
I will eventually get my hands on my
Or
hips.
hands on hair.
I have to.
Sort of wake up our body here. And from a side to side motion, we're going to start to lift that a little bit smaller, staying grounded through both feet. We're going to play with a little bit, I've been doing an online course and just thinking about alignment, so we're going to play with some different alignment stuff today. Yeah, nothing too drastic, but.
That's good.
All right, from that rock side to side, we'll start to diminish it as we get towards center. And if you ever notice my voice dropping, remind me to project, okay? Because
Your voice sounds plenty loud.
I sometimes forget that the room we're in is virtually a lot bigger than this room.
You sound plenty loud.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to rock front to back, lifting toes, lifting heel. Doesn't have to be big, or it could be big to start out. And then starting to diminish that as we stay grounded through heels and toes, back and forth. And then finding your center. So I'm making a choice here, either keeping your feet nice and wide, great choice for the morning, or anytime really. Or you could challenge your balance as you narrow your stance. I'm going to give a little bit of a different alignment cue for the feet here. Rather than having the tightest you would go is big toes touch, heels slightly apart. That's a very classic way to hold your feet in yoga. But I'm going to ask you, if you do choose to go that navel, that narrow, that navel. If you do chose to go that narrow, have your heels connect and your toes point out just a little bit. There you go. A little bit of external rotation on the hips.
It's a ballet pose.
A little bit more of a ballet pose, but it's not second position, so it's not severe. But just finding a place that feels good for your hip.
Oh, I know.
A little more open. Cool. All right.
It's the bar.
It's the bar. It's Pilates. Any break. So anyway, let's start some sun styles here. Just working with our arms, inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling arms back down. 2 more times here. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Adding a forward fold, feel free to grab those bricks. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to find length as we arc the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as we fold again. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, folding. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, right in the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's go 1 more like that. Just observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders. As the arms ascend, the shoulders ascend. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. Breathing in. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll ask you to go sideways. Sun style A. And you want to find the top of your mat probably. Okay.
Well, just these would be in my eyes. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what to do.
Try to stay in frame for sure. And we'll get going. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, a forward fold. Take a breath to find length. And then on the exhale, grounding on down and making your way back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back.
I think I'm in the camera. You can take a look. I think so. It's hard to see
Let's
the
see.
shadows.
You look great. You're right there.
Awesome.
So a little different alignment on the feet. Well, you don't have to go that narrow, but think about the heels pointing a little bit in and the toes pointing a little bit out, but maybe not that much. But so finding a little more space in our hips.
Oh, yeah,
Subtle.
I feel it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
One more long, slow breath here. Long, slow breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. It'll make the jump a little easier too. And a big frog jump front, if you choose. You can also just walk it front. Beautiful. Doesn't that feel a little better on the jump too?
It does.
Take a breath to find length when you arrive, arcing the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as you fold. Inhaling right into breath up, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, rounding the spine as you ground on down. And making your way back to down dog as you will, either stretching straight back or cycling through chaturanga. Inhaling into your up dog or cobra. And then stretching it back to your down dog. And holding for 3 to 5 long, slow breaths. And again, feel free to pedal your dog, feel free to hold your dog, whatever feels right and good for you. Just checking in, finding the mind-body connection. It's actually always there, but just being aware of it. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you either step or frog jump up front. Awesome. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, hands overhead pose. Exhaling, standing tall. So let's do one sun sal B just for fun.
For fun.
So we're going to start with the chair, but I'll invite you to find that foot position. Heels connect, toes point out. You could even work it a little bit wider with the heels vis-a-vis. And then inhaling into our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged, supporting a back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you arc the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as you fold again, and then grounding on down and making your way back to down dog as you will. Take your time. While you flow through vinyasa, we'll see who's here. Welcome, Beverly. Welcome, David. Welcome, John. From down dog flow style. Actually, I'm going to cue this a little bit different. I'm trying to say I'm going to get the words right in my head. Heels connect, toes slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for your 3-legged dog. Exhaling, bringing that foot on through, landing it lightly. Spinning the back heel down, finding your warrior one, arms out to the side and then overhead. And then on the exhale, back to your low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back, your choice. Can you get those thighs up the ground? Just something to think about.
What?
Are they off? Are they off? There it is. How's that feel? Does that feel different? Does it feel bad?
No.
No? Okay. I mean, either way is good. I just want to offer the option to take it a little bit more exertion. All right. Awesome. Yeah, and then we got our second side here. Yeah, heels connect, toes point out. Left leg high to the sky, inhaling. And then on the exhale, bringing that foot on through, landing it lightly, beautiful. Spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead, inhaling. And then on the exhale, back to your low lunge. And then you can do it any way you want, Kathy. So
It's okay. I appreciate all the cueing you have to give.
finding your push-up, nice. Grounding those hips down. The one thing I'm concerned, okay, I'll talk to you about it later.
My shoulders?
Exercise, you go really, really low, and I think you might find some shoulder impingement eventually.
Oh, actually, what I've been doing, if you've noticed, is I used to have them here, which was
Yeah.
worse, and now I've been moving it back here, and it seems to really be, it's not my shoulders at all. Like, that way I use my
Okay,
core and my back more.
there you go. Now the thighs come up, now rolling over the toes, back to your down dog. Beautiful. A couple different choices in down dog for your neck. One nice way to work it is relaxed neck, heavy head. You might shake your head side to side. Another way to think about the neck is to lengthen through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your navel. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you take that frog jump front. Awesome, beautiful frog jump. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, coming back to your chair, knees over toes, hands over head, neutral spine. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll ask you to face camera, bringing hands to heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Relax shoulders, long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. Coming back to that internal focus, watching as our breath flows in and out. And then lifting the chin, hands by our side. If the feet aren't already hip width apart, we can either step or jump them that way. Feel free to keep that little turnout. And on the inhale, we're going to inhale. We're working with our fire breath here. Inhaling, arms up, and then a short, sharp exhalation out through the nose. And we'll do 8. Couple more. Last one. And then back up. And either stepping or jumping it back in. And feel free to keep that little turnout. So heels connect, toes point out. Flowing through some standing sequences. At a certain point, you'll go sideways. You don't need to do it right now. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then on the exhale, back to down dog, as you will. And you might go sideways at this point. Awesome, yeah. So while you hold down dog, let me just do a little demo here. So traditionally, on the push-up, to avoid putting too much stress on the shoulder, you only want to come down to what they call dinosaur arms. At this point, you roll over the toes to find your up dog. So the idea is you come all the way down, you put too much stress. I don't even want to do it because my shoulder hurts. You
Right.
put too much stress on the front of the shoulder.
No, yeah, I understand.
So
I've actually, what I do know is I'll show you when I do my next
okay, cool.
one, so you can see how I'm protecting my shoulders.
Excellent. Well, definitely, I'm looking forward to that. Big toes, heels connect, toes point out. Right leg high to the sky. Keeping that right shoulder just as it is. Stacking the hips as we twist from the ribs. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip, beautiful. Now pitching that knee a little bit higher. Yeah, there you go, feel that. And then sweeping that right foot through. Spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead for your warrior one. Hands come back to the hips. Yeah. And we're going to play with the stance. So if you look nice and long there, so you probably don't need to lengthen your stance. If you did, you'd shift weight onto the front foot and scoot the back foot back. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front, warrior one hips. They're not actually going to be perfectly squared front, but you want to feel the action of the back hip moving front, front hip moving back. Bringing hands onto our shoulders, relaxing those shoulders, and squaring heart front. Now finding a clasp with the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, elbows wide to the side. And that should feel pretty good. From here, let's find a tray in front. Yeah, even lower. Yeah, there you go. So you bend those elbows even more, yeah. We're going to draw energy into our center, circling the hands around as we offer it out. 6 times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 3 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in, breathing out and holding the cactus arms. Great takeaway shape, whether you're on a yoga mat or not. Elbows move back, the hands come with, rippling those fingers. Feels so good. So let's play with our first balance, and it's going to be warrior one hips, but not absolutely. So hands find we're moving towards warrior 3. So just to be clear, hands find the hips, we can spin the back heel up. Either one big step or a series of steps in, or just try to find your camera, just start to float on that front foot. And you want to feel like you're pouring your weight into the foot. A word about the hips. We can square the hips perfectly to the floor. Notice how that feels. But now lift the hip of the lifted leg just a little bit. So you move a little bit towards warrior 2 hips, but you're not turning the hips sideways. Does it make your hip feel a little bit better?
Maybe.
Maybe. We're going to have some fun arm variations though. letting those arms just dangle down towards the floor, and let's just rock them front to back. Might even bend that knee a little bit.
It's hard, I'm just telling you.
It is hard. And then we can find the more traditional exposition as we swing those hands front and lift the face to look through those hands if you want. Awesome, beautiful. From here, hands come back to the hips. We can take a big step back as we find our warrior one with our hands on our hips. Turning our hips into warrior two hips as we square the hips sideways and find one long arm looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and heat. And that's your drishti. Lots of intention on those fingers. Yeah, awesome. Painting rainbows, breathing in and breathing out back to warrior two. 6 times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2, breathing in and breathing out. Last 1, breathing in and holding that reverse warrior. Reaching up higher, reaching down further, finding more space between each rib as you breathe, and spreading those fingers wide as you find more space in your hand. And then turning this shape back into warrior two. From here, finding your rainbow warrior. A clasp of the fingers behind the back. You might also grab a strap or a towel. Shoulder blades back and down initially onto rib shelf. And then taking a deep forward fold inside the front leg, leading with the heart. And then when you get down there, you can round the spine. Just let it be organic, let it be loose. Relax neck, heavy head, nice. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to add a little gentle rock, a little gentle sway. Just inviting any tension in your body to drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. And if you at home, if your head's above your heart, just feel the tension drain the other way, down through the legs, through the feet, and into the earth. In our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin as you bring it on up. Coming back to our warrior two. Transitioning to extended side angle pose. Back hand finds the hip. You're going to ground the forearm on top of the thigh. The palm faces up. You're going to let this top arm just dangle. And then I'll invite you to pendulum it back and forth, just releasing any tension. Yeah, not yet, not yet. Yeah, just back and forth, keep it low, yeah. There, yeah, there you go. Now you're going to engage as you stretch it away towards the windows, feeling more space in that shoulder. And then keeping that sense of space as you sweep it front. Beautiful. As we hold the shape, strong back leg, long through those ribs, long through that arm, long through those fingers. You might pretend that that top hand is a little hand mirror, and you're looking at your reflection in that mirror. I'm not sure if you're breaking the wrists. How does that feel? I don't think what you're doing is bad. I just want to give you the possibility of trying something else. How's that feel?
Good.
Nice. Okay.
I understand. You're just an instructor. You're not telling me I'm doing anything wrong.
I am not. I'm just saying.
Just
I'm giving you different possibilities to think about. Yeah.
From here, students to think about it. It's just that it's all just helpful hints or possible aids.
Just things I can see. Yeah, because I'm another observer. All right. Besides your own internal observer, which is obviously the most important observer in this room. So we're going to move towards our half moon here. Top hand finds the hip. I'll set the bricks up for you, or a brick up for you. You'll take either a couple of steps in, or one big step in.
Hello, little puppy.
Hey, Taz.
We have our guest friend.
So now this is warrior two hips, but we don't have to be absolute about it. So the hips do face the side, but you might have a little bit of an essence of warrior one hips here, and that's going to be a little easier, I think, to hold the pose for a little bit longer. From here, we can use that top hand to rotate the ribs, opening up shoulder, and stretching hand high. Nice. As we hold the shape, breathing into your center, and from your center, expanding in the shape with every exhalation. From here, let's come down easily. Top hand finds the hip, the back foot comes down, short stance, no big deal. Shifting the weight into the feet as we bring hands onto hips. And then shifting weight onto the front foot as we lengthen our stance, coming back to our warrior two. And you have to do what you have to do for the frame. At home, just working from the front foot. From our warrior two, I'll invite you to find a big windmill of the arms as you stretch out your shoulders. And if that's not right, you're going to just frame front foot with both hands.
Okay.
Finding your low lunge. And then back to down
So,
dog as you,
I'm
yes,
going to
ma'am.
show you what I do.
Okay,
Is
I'm
I
excited.
engage my shoulders and I really bring them in to my arms.
Oh, wow. So a lot of internal rotation.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
that way I'm protecting my shoulders, so I'm using my biceps, and triceps rather, but really also my core, and then
Okay.
just kind of sliding
I like
down with my feet. So,
I was actually thinking about that today.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
so
I
you
think
kind of
it's
squeeze everything in, so you're protecting your shoulders, and
Yeah.
then I move my hands back,
back.
so I can pull myself forward for the upward dog. So again, just kind of using your own. I think it's the way it's supposed to be done, actually, and I finally figured it out after all these years.
I'm not sure. I've never been taught that. I like it. I have to think
It
about
just
it. I'll
feels
have to try it
intuitive.
myself, but
It feels
yeah,
safe and intuitive.
absolutely.
Because before that, as you know, I've only been able to go down the way you were saying before, the safer way. If I hadn't figured that out, I would. But also, I've gained some strength too to be able to do it. But
Mhm.
for many, many years, as you know, I did the safer way. So I'll model that the next time.
That's all good. Yeah, we can figure it out. But I want to get to that second side.
Yes, of course.
So again, heels connect, toes point out. Left leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Trying to keep that left shoulder. We want to stabilize our shoulders here. We want to twist from the ribs as we stack the hips. Now bending that leg, opening up that hip. Now pitching that knee even higher. There you go. Feel that last little ounce of engagement there, and then sweeping the foot on through.
You really feel it in your
It
hips.
feels good, I think. I think it feels
Hip
good.
flexor, yeah.
Arms out to the side and then overhead for your warrior one. Bringing hands back to hips, getting ready to lengthen the stance if appropriate. You look plenty long there though. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. Yeah, you want to get back hip front hip back. That's warrior one hips. But again, there's an essence of warrior two here. They're not perfectly squared front. And you want to kind of keep this kind of hip when you move towards your warrior three eventually. Hands find the shoulder. Just relax those shoulders and square the heart front. Now switching the clasp of the fingers behind the head. Pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, elbows wide to the side. This is one of my favorite shapes here. And then finding that tray in front, keeping that openness. And we'll draw energy into our center, inhaling, exhaling, circling around 6 times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in, breathing out, and holding these cactus arms. Again, you can do this any place. Waiting for a bus at your desk. Elbows move back. The hands come with. Rippling those fingers.
Great way to manage social distancing.
There you go. If you want to stick your tongue out, that'll definitely keep people away.
Well, no, you
Do a little
mask.
lion's roar. Ready?
Yeah, but you'd have a mask on, so
That's
the
true.
best.
All right, so now we're going to bring hands to hips. We're going to turn it into warrior 3. Spinning the back heel up, either one big step or a couple of steps in.
I'm
And
doing
envision yourself just pouring yourself into that front leg as you lift the back leg up. Now, classically, this is taught with hips squared towards the floor. See how that feels? Now try a little bit of warrior 2, but not too much. As you lift the hip of the lifted leg, does that make the standing leg a little more easeful?
I'm not
Not
really
yet,
sure.
not for
I'm not
you.
really sure.
Okay, fair enough. For me, it does.
It's with my 58-year-old legs, it's always a little bit of a wobble fest.
It's all good. Keep the knee a little bit bent. That's going to help with your wobble fest. And let's play with those pendulum arms. Back and forth. You might even bend that knee a little bit. A little movement helps with balance. And then we're going to sweep those hands front as you straighten the leg without locking the knee. And then maybe lifting the face to look through those hands. Beautiful. We can bring hands back to hips as we take a big step back, finding our warrior 1 prep with our hands on our hips. So you want to adjust your stance. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips sideways. Now we're moving towards warrior 2 hips, but they're not all the way sideways. There's still an essence of warrior 1 here. So you've got this back hip's a little bit forward of the front hip, and then finding your warrior 2 as you find one long arm. Looking out over those front fingers with that steady, relaxed gaze, a little tension in those fingers, or a lot of intention in those fingers. And then painting rainbows, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. We're halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in Breathing out, last one, breathing in and holding. Reaching up higher, reaching down further in tension. Space in the hand, space between each rib. Breathing into that. This is another one of my favorite poses. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. And then from the reverse warrior back to warrior two. Now switching the clasp of the fingers, stretching the shoulder blades back and down, open heart, open throat initially. And then leading with the heart as you take that forward fold inside the front leg. Take your time, no rush. And then when you get down there, you're going to round the spine by just letting go. And you're going to let those shoulders slide off the rib shelf down towards the floor. Relax neck, heavy head. Yeah, you can do a neck check, a little rock, a little swing. Maybe adding a rock and a swing to the whole body, just inviting any tension in your neck and shoulders and everywhere else to drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. Nice. And at home, if your head is above your heart, feeling that same action as the tension drains down through the limbs into the floor. In our Rainbow Warrior, a strong tuck of the chin as you bring it on up. Coming back to our Warrior Two. From Warrior Two, transitioning to extended side angle pose. Yes, I always bring the hand to the hip first.
Yep.
It's okay. So yoga model. So from Warrior Two, hand finds the hip and then ground the forearm. And then just letting that top arm just hang. We can pendulum it back and forth, releasing any tension. Now I'm going to find more space in that shoulder as we stretch it away first. Yeah, there you go. Feel that sense of space. Keeping that sense of space as you stretch it front. Nice. As we hold the shape and tension in all parts of the body, even that bottom hand. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. And then, yeah, so you're not breaking on the wrist at this side. So how does that feel? Maybe break at the wrist. See how that feels. And we have a choice. Part of our yoga is just examining our patterns. Does that pattern serve us? If it does, keep it. If not, yeah. Maybe the other pattern, there's no difference. It's like when you're at the eye doctor, like, is it 5 or 6? You're like, I have no idea. All right, from here, let me give you a couple more cues in the pose. Strong back leg, length through the ribs, length through the arms, length through the fingers. Beautiful. You might pretend that top hand's a little hand mirror and you can see yourself in the mirror. There you go. And then from here back to our half moon. So it's the balance with Warrior Two hips, but not absolutely. As we set our base, we take a big step in, or adjusting yourself in the frame, lifting that leg. So we are squaring the hips sideways, but you might have that top hip a little bit turned down. That's going to keep the knee a little bit happier. From here, we can use that top hand to rotate our ribs, opening up that shoulder, and then stretching hand high to the sky. Right? And either looking down, very grounding, off to the side, or up to the sky. As we hold the shape, breathing into your center, and then from your center, finding expansion in the shape with every exhalation. Coming down easefully, top hand finds the hip with a short stance or a long stance. Finding your Warrior Two, one long arm. And then from Warrior Two, a big windmill of the arms as we stretch out our shoulders for a low lunge. Or Warrior, a cool little Warrior Three. So what you did is kind of complicated. Most people wouldn't get it. So the other suggestion I would give to most people on the push-up is to use the knees.
Mm-hmm. I'll do it.
Yeah. So if I use your knees, yeah, there you go. And that way, even though you go past that point with the support of the knees, there's not too much pressure on the shoulders.
It's by doing the knees that I kind of figured out how to do what I'm doing.
Yeah,
now.
that's it. I think I have to think a lot more about it and figure out how I can cue it, because it's a complicated action and I think it works, but I just don't know how to tell people how to do it simply.
I think
Yes.
you start, it's like actually that's how I got it, by the movement I needed to do to get to the knees.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm good.
All right. So you ready for another standing set?
Oh, sure.
All right. Let's come to the top of our mat. You'll do your little frog jump here, or walk it. You can walk it front if you want. And take a breath to find length as you arc. So you want to arc that spine if you can. Yeah, dip back heart, really feel that, yeah. Exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking tail and shin. Coming back to our chair, knees over toes, finding your neutral spine, back of the head in line with the sacrum. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged, supporting that back bend at the top. On the exhale, hands by our side. I'll ask you to face the camera. Bringing hands to heart, this time adding an isometric engagement as you press the palms together, elbows wide, a tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of your center. And then hands by our side. So let's cross right leg over left. Inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, a forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. On the exhale, folding and holding. Feel free to grab that brick if the floor feels really far away. As we hold this shape, letting your shoulders slide down towards the floor, relax neck, heavy head. And then as we hold this shape, I invite you to circle your hips, any amount. It could be a big circle, could be a little circle. Let it be your circle. Just really getting into the low back, getting into those hips. But again, this is another one of my favorite positions. And then when you're ready, taking those circles the other way. So you got the right leg in front, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a pitter-patter here. Carefully unwinding the legs. You're going to find your low lunge. So you're going to, so at home, stay just as you are. Kathy's going to go sideways. From low lunge, back to down dog as you will. You're just cycling through vinyasa, or just stretching straight back. Feeling free to do your push-up as you will, either using the knees to keep the shoulders happy, or internally rotating the shoulders as you draw them in. I think that might be the cue to keep the shoulders from, keep the front of the shoulder from bearing too much weight. From here, let's move towards a swan sequence. So big toes, so heels connect, toes point out, right leg high to the sky. Keep, I don't want you to burn yourself, yeah. We got some lights here for the camera. Keeping that shoulder grounded as best you can. We want to twist from the ribs as you stack the hips, nice. Bending the leg, opening up that hip. And the last little bit, cherry on the sundae, pitch the knee a little higher, feel the stretch in the glute. And now you're going to keep that knee joint closed, and that's your right leg, right? Mm-hmm. Keep it straight as you walk the left leg back. Might take some adjustment here, make sure you're comfortable. Now finding the tips of 10 fingers. You want to bring those shoulder blades back and down, initially at least. Open heart, open throat, and then keeping that as long as you can, but then you can let the shoulders move up towards the ears, arms in extension. I hope you have enough space to work here. I can move some speakers.
Well, I think I'm good with that. It's more the legs. I'm good. I'm fine. Do we have to move anything?
So I would say, can you go longer in the arms? Let the shoulders crowd the ears even, and then let it soften. Nice. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to gently rock it from side to side. Yeah. Releasing and relaxing that low back. Nice. And then coming back to center. And in a big exhale out through the mouth. Just letting gravity take over. From here, let's walk our hands in and let's find a swan twist each way. So finding the forearm on the bent knee side of things. Outrigger hand, so the other hand goes out to the side. And you'll pull back with that forearm as you find a twist any amount. Giving your low back the exact right amount of traction that's right and good for it today. Now let's find that twist the other way. So you'll find that other perpendicular forearm, that other outrigger hand, and then pulling back with that forearm as you stretch it out. You might even go on the tips of the fingers if you want. Yeah, give your hand a little workout. Nice. Now coming back center, let's fly the swan. This is a signature move. So you come back to center, the tips of 10 fingers. And then strong abdominal engagement as you stretch those hands out to the side and then high to the sky. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to circle those wrists. And then taking those wrist circles the other way. And then let's ground on down. Finding the flats of 2 palms. Tucking the back toes. Finding your 3-legged dog as you lift that, forget this right leg, yeah, nice. And before you release the knee, I'll invite you to circle the hip. There you go, 1, 2, 3. 3 times the other way, nice. And then carefully opening up that leg, inviting prana, vitality to flow into the knee joint that had been closed. Watch out for the light. And then you'll ground on down. There you go. And either hang out here walking your dog or maybe cycling through vinyasa, your choice.
We have a dog friend.
And you're a dog friend. So we'll have a downward facing dog and we'll have the dog behind you just relaxing and enjoying your yoga practice. Awesome, beautiful.
She's just making sure I'm okay. She's just very curious.
She's a curious pup.
And safety protector.
So from here, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone higher, and either walking or maybe taking that jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Arcing the back, hands can cap the knees if you don't have bricks around. So you really find that arc. So you really want to lift chin and tail. You want to dip it here. Just feel that undulation of the spine. Now you're going to round the spine as you tuck tail and chin. You puff out back hard. And then on the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair, finding our neutral spine, back of the head in line with the sacrum. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart as you face the camera, intertwining the fingers, keeping the heels of the hands together as you try to pull the fingers apart. Again, a tuck of the chin, a tuck of the tail, connecting with the strength of our center. And then lifting the chin, tall through the crown. Stepping it in, let's find that cross step. So we're going to bring left over right, I think. Take a breath, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. If you need a brick to raise the floor, go for it. Take a breath to arc the back, feel that dip, feel that, feel that spine. On the exhale, rounding the spine and holding, relax neck, heavy head. And then I'll invite you to, at any point, first of all, letting shoulders slide down to the floor, and then starting to circle those hips. And just let your hips talk to you. What do they want? What feels good? How far do they want to go? How fast do they want to move? And just honoring whatever your hips have to say. And then taking those circles the other way. Again, this is one of my favorite exercises. Now coming back center. Now at home, you don't have to go sideways to face the camera. Kathy's going to do that as she finds her low lunge with the left foot back, right foot front. Just want to make sure we get both sides. And then from the low lunge, I think one more time today, maybe one more time after this, back to down dog as you will. Maybe cycling through vinyasa, maybe using the knees on the push-up, maybe not, maybe doing the Catherine shoulder maneuver to keep her shoulders happy. And then back to down dog. So now, perfect. We've got heels connect, toes point out. Left leg high to the sky. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, lifted leg straight as we twist from the ribs. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. Now pitching that knee even higher. And then sweeping that left foot through, spinning the back heel down. Bringing left knee to left wrist. You know better than I. Now you're going to settle your hips as you walk the foot back. When that foot doesn't go back anymore, you'll unfurl the foot and then just let the pose settle. Before we find the forward fold, though, using the tips of 10 fingers to set the shoulder blades back and down. And then keeping that as long as you can, arms in extension, and try to keep the elbows a little bit straighter, feel the stretch. And then at a certain point, even the shoulders, we're not going to bear weight here, we're going to crowd the ears a little bit as you go super, super long through those arms. And I know there's a speaker there. We're going to work around the speaker, go for it. As we hold the shape, gently rocking your body side to side. It doesn't have to be vigorous. Maybe pretending like you're on a boat and that boat just bobbing side to side. Maybe hearing the creak of the stays. If you've ever been on a sailboat, you know what I'm talking about. And then back to the center. And on an exhale out through the mouth, not yet. I want you to sink deeper into the shape. Now, we can re-engage as we walk the fingers back in, and we'll work a swan twist to each side. So finding a perpendicular forearm on the bent knee side of things. The other hand goes out to the side. Outrigger hand, I'll move the brick, or you can move the brick. And you want to pull back with that forearm as you give your low back the exact right amount of traction that's right for it this morning. You even pulse it a little bit, huh?
Trying.
Well, or you could not pulse it.
That's all
No
right.
rights, no wrongs.
No, I'm just doing what my body's doing. I'm not even.
And that's why you're such a great practitioner.
Aw.
And as yoga, as Josephine jokes, Mom's just doing her practice.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of.
And then we'll come back center. We'll find the other forearm, the other outrigger hand.
My high school yearbook quote was seeing things in a different way, and I guess it's so true.
Okay. Awesome. Beautiful. And that's the main point, not the main point, or a big point of the practice. Maybe it is the main point, just finding that mind-body connection, listening to your body and giving it what it wants. Now coming back center, we're going to fly the swan, if you're ready. So finding the tips of 10 fingers, shoulder blades back and down, and then strong engagement as we stretch those arms out to the side and then high to the sky. In our swan, I'll invite you to circle those wrists. Say 3 or 4 times one way, 3 or 4 times the other. And then coming back down, finding the flats of 2 palms. Yeah, if you want to do a little wrist stretch before you get there, go for it. And then tucking the back toes, keeping that knee joint closed as we lift that leg on up. And before we release the knee, just circling the thigh bone in the hip socket. And taking it the other way. And then carefully releasing that knee, inviting more prana, more vitality to move into what had been compressed. And then grounding on down, and I forgot, we do have another opportunity, either hanging out here, walking your dog, or one last time, I swear, you might cycle through vinyasa, your choice. Yeah. And just flowing through space with grace. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see, anybody else join us? All right, welcome, John. Welcome the other John. From our down dog, I'll invite you to land the knees lightly as we find a child's pose. And I'll invite you to make a stack of soft fists, letting your forehead rest on those fists. As we hold this child's pose, gently rocking your body from side to side. As we rock our body side to side, finding your belly breath with every inhalation, letting your belly massage your thighs, letting your thighs massage your belly. Now let's bring our feet off to one side, and I'll suggest coming to the top of that mat or your mat at home. We'll find a long, slow roll down onto our backs, and we'll play with 2 more forms of the swan or the pigeon, starting from your neutral spine, back to the head in line with the sacrum. That's it. Now finding C-spine as you slowly roll it down, vertebrae by vertebrae, as if you're laying pearls onto a cushion. Strong abdominal engagement. When you get down, be careful of the lights, Kathy. I'll invite you to find a full body stretch. Arms by the ears, not too low, and to keep the ribs soft and drawing in. And then pressing your back into the mat as you bring your hands by your hips and bring your feet in. So let's see, we did right leg first, left leg second in our prone body swan. So in our supine swan, swan on our back, let's bring right ankle on top of left thigh. Drawing that left knee in as we reach through to catch the back of the thigh or the shin. And as we hold this shape, I'll invite you to gently rock your body side to side, massaging it out. How does it feel? And then coming back towards stillness. Carefully releasing the thigh or the shin. We want to ground that foot down first, Kathy, if you can. And now keeping that top foot flexed as you bring it off. We want to keep the knee happy by engaging the muscles. Take a breath just to relax, hands on your belly. And then when you're ready, we'll bring that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Take your time. Drawing that knee in as we catch the thigh or the shin. Once you've set up the shape, gently rocking it from side to side. Nice. Now coming back center, releasing the thigh or the shin, and you'll have the room to ground the foot down. Once that foot's grounded down, keeping the top foot flexed as you bring it off the thigh. Nice. And then ground it down through 2 feet, hands on the belly for a big belly breath in through the nose. Let's sigh this one out through the mouth. One more like that. Breath in through the nose. Sighing it out through the mouth. From here, let's press our back into the mat to support the action of the legs as we draw one knee into the heart, the other knee follows. Hands cap the knees. And then you're going to circle your sacrum. Yeah, so both legs together. So keep the knees connected, yeah. So it's just on your back, that's it, yeah. That should feel pretty good. And then taking those circles the other way. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to circle our knees. So we draw 2 knees into the heart. They circle out to the side. Yeah, so that they're going to separate.
Oh.
That's it, yeah.
Wait, I was doing it the first time.
Yeah, just keep going like this. There's a method to this madness. Notice the undulations of your back as you work this exercise. When the knees draw in, the tailbone lifts, low back grounds. As the knees draw out, the low back lifts, the tailbone grounds. And then taking those circles the other way. A couple more times. And now we're going to trace those same circles, but one knee is going to come into the heart, the other knee is going to draw away. They're going to circle out to the side. So I call these egg beater knees. As we work the exercise, I'll invite you to notice how this asymmetrical action of the hips and legs stabilizes the pelvis and low back. So we're no longer feeling those undulations of the back. It's almost like we're walking, and for good reason. When we walk, the low back is very stable. And then taking those egg beater knees the other way. And let's do a relaxation exercise before we lay down. I'll invite you to find your happy baby as you draw your knees in towards your armpits, catching either the ankles or the outside edges of the feet. Just using the weight of the arms to heavy those knees down. That's right, rocking it from side to side as you rock your baby.
And pet your baby.
You can pet that baby on the far side. It's back and forth. And then at a certain point, coming back to center, coming back to a focus on your breath. And now that you've rocked your baby to sleep, finding your Shavasana. As we go along through the legs, arms out to the side, the palms face up, scooting the head back as you flatten your shoulders. In Shavasana, even though I said rocking the baby to sleep, Shavasana, unless you're really tired, is generally not asleep. It's a conscious relaxation. So we're not asleep, but we're relaxing. And it's just an interesting, it's a great exercise. All the stuff we do in the practice is to get to this place where we can be fully awake, yet fully relaxed. And as we hold this shape, even letting that focus on your breath soften, as you start to bring your senses inside. And we won't be here too long. I'll turn a couple lights off. So I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. Welcome, Jackie. I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body. Bring your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and out, like watching a river as that river flows by. From a place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath. I'll invite you to vary that ratio between the inhale and the exhale as you find a long, slow breath in, followed by an even longer, slower breath out. Keeping this more relaxing breath with those longer, slower exhalations. Inviting more prana, more vitality, more life force into your body as you gently ripple fingers and toes. Inviting that prana in towards center as you gently circle your wrists and your ankles, little half circles, maybe full circles each way. You might do the ankles also if you feel it. Maybe you are doing the ankles and I just can't see it.
Oh,
There it is. I knew you weren't doing those ankles.
No, I have to confess that I'm very human and my mind started wandering to the future.
All right. And noticing that is the first step to being present. So from here, let's press the back into the mat to support the action of the legs as you draw one knee into the heart, the other knee follows. Hands cap the knees. Using your thighs, this time the focus is going to be similar movement, but using those thighs to massage your low belly as you either circle front to back, side to side. This pose is called Apanasana, a great pose for digestion as we digest the fruits of our practice. And this is my favorite way to come up. It's a little less relaxing, but it feels good on my back. Reaching back with hand or hands to lift and tuck the chin. Keeping the neck relaxed. Chin stays tucked as the hands come back to the shins. Now, if the shins don't give you enough oomph, feeling free to catch the back of the thighs, you want to rock yourself front to back to front, massaging your spine. Staying in keeping everything very tucked. Tuck tail, tuck chin. You want to roll, roll, roll. Around the spine even more if you can. Rock it to the back of the shoulders if you can. And then popping up to find a cross-legged sit. As we sit, grounded down through our sits bones, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees. Pulling back with your hands to settle your shoulders. Long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. 5 fingers of one hand find the ground. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. Ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in, and watching as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring one hand onto the heart, the other hand on top. Ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in, and watching as our breath flows out. From this place, I invite you to bow as you thank yourselves for practicing yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me. Thank you at home for practicing with us.
Thank you. Everyone.
And as always, namaste. Have a nice day. And we'll see you all real soon.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.